Hello, I'm the Irish guy, and yes, so let's take a look at the midweek Premier League matches. And lads, for my Premier League prediction series, we could be looking at a new wooden spoon contender because the latest guest, Matty Renton of the Magpie channel, really needs to put some points on the board tonight because right now, he's got 21 points so far. I mean, I've only got 28 to be fair. But yeah, as it stands, you're soon going to be looking up at Flav's nostril hairs. Why? Why didn't he just pick Morgan Rogers to score? What? Right, let's go. Newcastle 3, Liverpool 3. Alexander Isak is a freak. Put some respect on this man's name because that goalie rocketed into the top corner of Queven Kelleher's goal. That is utter star quality. And I'm sorry, but after Haaland, he is the best centre forward in the league. Bar none. But, how can both sets of fans be coming out of this match and both complaining about the ref? Liverpool fans think they were robbed. Newcastle fans think they were robbed. Who's right? I'm gonna say this, okay? Why on earth was Arne Slot allowed to enter the referee's dressing room at halftime? And nobody seems to care. Can you imagine if that was Jurgen Klopp? Yeah, because that guy is a scary monster. I mean, if I was a referee, I would sooner agree to be trapped in a room with a hungry werewolf than an angry Jurgen Klopp. But because Slot seems like such a mild-mannered, nice little Ned Flanders of a coach, oh, nobody seems to be making a big deal out of this. But come on. What do you think those two were doing together in that office? Do you think they were trading Secret Santas? Or discussing potential spoilers for the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special? No, I'm sorry, but managers and referees should not be conversing in private halfway through a match. It is dodgier than Sadio Mane's choice of wife. But you know what the worst part about all this was? The score is 3-3, right? It's been an epic game. And then in the final minute, Nick Pope launches an incredible pass out wide to suddenly create a 3-on-2 situation. Isak, Wilson, and Willock all bearing down on goal. And then the whistle goes. Are you for real? Just let the action continue. Yeah, I know there's only 5 minutes of added time, but lads, there was a penalty shout that went to VAR in injury time after the ball smacked Dan Burns' elbow. Never a pen, by the way. Yeah, that happened in the 92nd minute. And the game was stopped for 30 seconds for VAR to check it. 30 seconds! Which is about as long as I can last through any Taylor Swift song. And yet he blows the whistle just 10 seconds after 95 minutes. 10 seconds! When VAR paused the match for half a minute? How is that fair? I mean, does nobody remember when 2 years ago, Liverpool were allowed to play almost until the end of time, long enough for Fabio Carvalho to snatch a 98th minute winner against Newcastle, when again, there was only 5 minutes of extra time. So why did the referee, Andy Madley, deny Newcastle a clear goal-scoring chance to make this an epic 4-3 win? And let's not forget that Anthony Gordon, after having a one-on-one chance saved by Kelleher in the first half, he then gets Virgil van Dijk ramming his shoulder into his head. That might not look like much from afar, because the Dutchman wasn't really moving at pace, but I'm sorry, the man is built like the Hulk. He is a 6'5" 5-inch colossus who probably weighs more than a baby elephant. He is somebody built like a nightclub bouncer, and he's coming up against Gordon, somebody with the frame of a comic book nerd, someone who has admitted he doesn't do weights at the gym. Gordon is somebody who would probably lose a Misfits boxing match against someone's nan. So yes, even Van Dijk walking into him shoulder first, that is really gonna hurt. Look, Newcastle were magnificent. This was St. James's Park at its best. The fans were so up for it. There was an Isak rocket. Gordon scoring against the club he's so desperate to join apparently, and even celebrates by doing the talking celebration, mocking all of those who were chirping so much about how he was so keen to ditch Newcastle for his boyhood Liverpool. Yeah, such a boyhood Liverpool fan. He grew up playing for Everton. This was a mental match, and yeah, Queven Kelleher will not sleep for a week, having chosen not to routinely palm a free kick over his bar in the final minute, instead letting Fabian Schär sneak around his shoulder to slide in an 89th minute equalizer. Honestly, the Corkman will feel sick. Honestly, it was such a gruesome, horrible error. Honestly, it was arguably as bad as Jordan Pickford's last minute gaff brain burp against Everton 6 years ago. It was a truly horrendous piece of goalkeeping, and I do feel sorry for him, but honestly, he should probably kiss the referee on the face, because Newcastle, with a 3-on-2, they should have won. Everton 4, Wolves 0. Oh, well, lads, I said from day one that Gary O'Neill was a managerial squirrel, somebody who just jumped to the queue in management, cruising straight into Premier League jobs, and it didn't make any sense. Because, lads, people often accuse England's world-class golden generation managers of unfairly skipping the queue. Gerrard, Rooney, Lampard, based solely on the strength of their names, right? Well, are you for real? Lampard is now onto his 2nd championship job. Rooney is onto his 3rd. These multi-millionaire megastars are clearly not scared of getting their hands dirty in a league where most of the stadiums probably smell like broken toilets. Well, Gary, He wasn't even some famous superstar player. In fact, he has as many senior England caps as my mum. And yet he has just cruised into both Bournemouth and Wolves jobs in the top flight. How? And why? I mean, during job interviews, does he just completely suck up to the chairman, complimenting his hair and offering him Rice Krispie buns that he cooked at home? Like, I don't know how O'Neill has charmed his way into these brilliant jobs, because his coaching pedigree is more underwhelming than any episode of Rings of Power. And now he's just been battered 4-0 at Everton. You can't defend this man anymore. You can't. He has to go now. He has to be sacked immediately. His literal initials spell out gone. Well, I mean, if it's Floyd Mayweather doing a crossword puzzle, that is. But still, my point remains. All signs point to this man being fired. And the fact that Wolves gave him a 4-year deal in August, it's even more puzzling than Sky's decision to do a watch-along. Come on. 90 minutes of unfiltered Roy Keane. Keep this up, and sooner or later, someone's mum is getting called fat. But yes, committing to that sort of long-term relationship with O'Neill on a coaching newbie who's only been in management 5 minutes. It is wild. It's a bit like agreeing to marry your mum's friend Martha. You know, some 55-year-old librarian who eats 9 cakes for breakfast. This was an absolute rotten sandwich of a Wolves performance. To rock up to your relegation rivals and get beaten by 4. And it's actually kind of crazy how the guy who got the final touch on 3 of Everton's goals was Craig Dawson. That man is probably incredibly relieved that Orel Mangala's first half strike was already on target before it deflected off him, because otherwise that would be a hat-trick of own goals. I mean, 2 own goals is embarrassing, but 3? Well, I mean, would the referee force him to take home the match ball? But to be fair, a shout-out to Ashley Young. Just a day after he found out that he could potentially be facing his own son in the FA Cup in January, he celebrates that freakish news by rolling back the years to smack in a free kick, becoming the oldest ever Premier League player to score one. At 39 years and 148 days, honestly, lads, if he and his son actually share the pitch in January, then I mean, anyone who remembers Ashley from his first Aston Villa spell is going to feel older than Santa Claus. But look, O'Neill has to go. His own fans are now squealing for him to leave. So come on, for all of you who thought that,
oh, your Gary O'Neill hate is so weird. Get with the times. We all like Gary. He's cool.
oh, really? What do you think of O'Neill now? Ozzy, you can queue up to leave your apologies at my feet. Ozzy will stop playing around and go out there and just get David Moyes. Now. Why is Gary still there? Southampton 1, Chelsea 5. The football overlords are laughing at me. I know they are, especially because of this result. 1-5. 1-5. Yeah, squish those numbers together, and that is the number 15. The exact position I said Chelsea would finish this season, with Maresca sacked at Christmas. Instead, that 5-1 win puts them second in the league. Second. Yes, I feel like a fool. I feel like one of those lunatics who thinks the sun is an alien and that dinosaurs live in China. Maresca, I don't know how he's keeping this entire squad happy, because he's essentially picking half his B team for the trip to the South Coast, and you would think that with some of these big players trapped in ridiculously long contracts, that they'll be furious at their treatment, and so when now given a rare Premier League start, they would shirk tackles and chuck in the work rate of slugs. I don't know how this man has managed to keep everyone on side, because this is a young squad full of brats. That's what this squad looks like on paper. Silver Spoon Academy starlets who've been famous since they were 14. People who've known they were going to be rich since they were 12. I mean, come on, it's not too long ago that we saw 3 Chelsea brats literally fighting over who gets to take a penalty on the pitch. But to see them all happy now, and to see the league's problem child, Jadon Sancho, somebody who looks like he's ready to burst into tears if you confiscated his Xbox, here he was coming off the bench and no signs of a sulk. I mean, Cole Palmer scores a tap-in and Sancho does the Cole celebration with him. There's no signs of jealousy. He just looks happy for his friend. And then he scores himself. So Enzo, you clearly have excellent man management. I mean, Christ, but the Leicester City players were still pining for him at their Christmas party. Oh, that's a bit sad. It's a bit like ringing up your ex-wife when you're half a bottle of wine deep midway through Paddington Bear 2 on Christmas Day. Oh, wow. Southampton were hideous. Come on, Jack Stevens gets sent off for pulling Cucurella's hair. What are you, 9? Hair pulling? I didn't even get away with that when I tried to win the mixed egg and spoon race at school. So you're surely not getting away with that when there's VAR? Come on, Jack, what are you doing? Hair pulling? Next to be smacking him with your handbag and calling him a tart. But Southampton are having a goalkeeping crisis because they were now forced to pick their 4th choice goalie, Joel Lumley. That is never going to work out well for anyone. I mean, imagine you're sitting on an aeroplane and the tannoy announces that they've got the 4th choice pilot in for the flight after the first 3 called in sick. I'd probably just accept my fate. I would now be hurriedly Googling how to fight off sharks. Leicester 3, West Ham 1. Martin Keown must be fuming. Absolutely fuming. Because lads, it is the Christmas of 2024. Over Over 20 years on from when this ex-Arsenal defender was jumping in Vanessa Wright's face like a wild chimpanzee. And yet here we have Rude dancing in the dressing room, having won matches with two different former Premier League champions this month. He's now won Premier League matches as boss of Manchester United and Leicester City, whilst Keown is desperately trying to flog a book that, honestly, it is the type of gift you would buy someone as a punishment. I mean, I would sooner receive a wedgie off Santa Claus than a Martin Keown book. Even the book cover looks boring. He's trying to go for the suave James Bond look, but really, he just looks like someone awkwardly posing at a funeral, having a selfie beside his nan's coffin. So yes, Vanessa Wright's successful, absolutely great on the man, whilst he's on the phone to Waterstones, demanding to know why they haven't shifted a single copy. Well lads, this was a Leicester City response. Poor old Steve Cooper must have been sitting at home throwing teacups at the wall, because these players were not playing like this for him, with Jamie Vardy scoring after a minute. Here we go again.
He can't keep getting away with this! Marty, why?
Five milk showers I've had now. Can he just stop? Can he please stop scoring goals? He turns 38 next month. 38! At your age! You're supposed to be a burnt out marmalade toast slice of a striker now. Come on, he's got less than 30 months left until he's in his 40s. How? How is he still this sharp? Don't you tell me it's because of a strict Gymshark diet? Nah, he looks like he eats nothing but Maltesers and milk. Arsenal 2, Man United 0. Declan Rice's corners are frightening. I'm sorry. I know, I don't like praising this man. In fact, I would sooner eat every branch of a Christmas tree. But still, those set pieces were a problem for Manchester United, forcing 2 goals, one off Julian Timber and then one off William Saliba's bum. Look, Mikel Arteta has received mega praise over the last couple of years, obviously. But can we please start giving some flowers to the Gunners set piece coach? Honestly, everyone knows that Arsenal have a good one, but nobody knows his name. Ozzy, when he dies, are you just gonna put Arsenal set-piece coach on his tombstone? Who is this underappreciated human cheat code in their setup? I mean, we know who Brentford's one is because Keith Andrews is a former Premier League player and seasoned international. But Arsenal's one is Nicholas Jover, somebody who's probably never even been asked for a selfie in his life. Even his own mum probably forgets to send him a birthday card. But he is a magician coach, a 43-year-old who was a video analyst at Montpellier between 2009 and 2016. Is it any coincidence that the top PSG to win the actual French league halfway through that spell? He also briefly worked as a match analyst for Croatia, then rocked up at Brentford under D. Smith, stayed with them under Thomas Frank, before being gobbled by Man City. Before, yes, following Arteta to Arsenal in 2021. And he has had such a mega impact. Don't forget, before he joined, Arsenal were getting bullied by the likes of Burnley at set pieces. Remember when they lost 1-0 at home with Aubameyang scoring an own goal? Even under Wenger, set pieces were their Achilles heel, because the Frenchman would eventually flood the team with technically brilliant but miniature goblins. Honestly, the likes of Samir Nasri and Thomas Rosicky looked like elves who'd escaped the sleigh. Of course they were going to get bullied on nights at Stoke, but Arsenal's recruitment team have now fed 6-foot built monsters to Jover's set piece sessions, and in return, this man has created absolute chaos in opposition boxes. This man is one of the most underrated coaches in the league. He's a cheat code. Put some respect on Jover's name. Man City 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Jeremy Doku is an unbelievable player what he wants to be. Do you know how frustrating this Belgian wing wizard is? On his day, the guy is seriously magic. The man dropped his shoulder more than my nan in search of the last Christmas pie, but this 22-year-old, when he is on his game, he can be absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, just absolutely ate Nottingham Forest with a spoon. And yeah, I tipped Bernardo Silva to get on the score sheet, and he did. And guess what? This Portuguese midfielder doesn't score anymore. This was actually his first goal in 30 Premier League matches. I didn't know that. I didn't know his goal drought was that long. If I did, then I would have not predicted him to score. That would be about as clever as kissing an infected swan. But yeah, good City win. Aston Villa 3, Brentford 1. Yep, Morgan Rogers scored. A beauty. Oh, isn't that just marvelous? I can't wait to hear the next guest of my Premier League prediction series, all getting back into the groove of predicting him to score every week. Honestly, even Thomas Frank was singling him out for praise in his post-match interview. Why does everyone love Rodgers so much? And don't even get me started on his new haircut. He looks like he's had his head dipped in butter. But look, brilliant Aston Villa win, but for Brentford, they are so horrible on the road. They are the Gini Wijnaldum of the Premier League. Excellent at home, score goals for fun at home, but absolutely anonymous away from home. Ipswich 0, Crystal Palace 1. Oh, Ipswich are going down. Lads, compare Ipswich's really meek performance against Crystal Palace at home to Leicester's one against West Ham. Night and day. This Ipswich squad, they're just not Premier League quality. And I think eventually, after they go down, we're going to look back at last summer when Kieran McKenna was getting linked with Man United and Chelsea and just think, really? I bet like Rob Edwards at Luton had loads of hype last Christmas. I mean, they were pushing Arsenal all the way. He was being linked with bigger jobs. But a year on, and he's lucky if he doesn't get relegated to League One. Honestly, McKenna, I think we spoke too soon. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the Premier League predictions. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.